clamp here.
Now back into the basket of foul.
Oh!
Ernie going at it again.
Uh-oh, get him.
And a foul.
Oh! Damn, he did that to OT like that? Yeah, watch out.
Who got the better of that?
Nobody got the better of it.
It wasn't a real fight. What it was a barbershop moment, and let me explain. He hit me with the ball. Now, if I didn't do nothing back, I can't go to no barbershop in America. Right? They're gonna be like, man, you got punked by y'all. So when he did it, I'm thinking about our mothers, because our mothers are best friends. So I'm like, and I'm thinking, but I'm like, oh, hell no, I can't let this go.
Shaq, that punch that you threw had some pretty evil intentions.
As you see, he misses a lot.
If that had connected.
He misses a lot. But
look,
my theory on that fight was, Ernie, okay.
all you got to be is 15 feet away.
I don't want to fight Shaq. My thing was, okay, I had to make a quick decision. Let me just get him, then they're going to break it up. Because they're not, it ain't like, you know, people always talk about fights. It ain't like they're going to let you go at it like hockey. I mean, I said, I just got to get to his body, because if he stand back and punches me, I mean, he got a huge advantage. So I was just trying to get to his body.
When he swung at you and you closed your eyes.
I didn't close my eyes.
Do you think, was that just speed frame? Okay.
No, Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
Oh, okay.
I got to tell you a funny story about Tough Guy, though. So I missed my rookie year. And they had, you know, you saw Maurice Lucas and Darryl Dawkins going at it. So Maurice Lucas knocks the hell out of me during the game. And I'm a rookie, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to get killed. It hit me, it hurt. And I said, so timeout, I said, Moses, Maurice Lucas just hit me really, really hard. What should I do? He says, hit him back, big fella. Hit him back, hard as you can. I said, what if he kills me? Trust me, big fella, just hit him hard as you can. So we're running down the court like 3 or 4 plays later. I hit him as hard as I could with a forearm shiver. Maurice kind of, like, he grunges, he bends over a little bit, he run back up the court. He says, just want to see what you're made of, big fella. Wait, welcome to the NBA. And I was like, cool. You know, but a lot of guys will try to intimidate you. They don't really want to fight. They just want to see are you intimidated.
Who's the guy that you did not want to mess with?
Easy for me. John Long, who was one of my mentors at Indiana. And we used to go over the game plan each and every night of who we were playing against. And one name, and I'm sure everyone's going to agree with me on this, Alvin Robinson was one of the guys. He's like, Reg, whatever you do, don't say a word to Alvin Robinson.
Alvin Robinson, yeah.
I'm like, come on, man, I'm a rookie.
I'm
going to talk to anyone. I don't care. I'm trying to, you know, puff my chest. Reg, I'm telling you right now, if you want to be successful in this league, just play the game tonight and don't say a
talk
word.
to Alvin.
First down, time down to play. He almost picks up John and moves him out the paint. And I turn to Wayman Tisdale, and I'm like, oh, now I see what he's talking about. Right. From that day on, while I played Alvin Robinson, while he was with Milwaukee, San Antonio, I never said a word to him.
Well, I had the guy that everybody was fearful on playing with me, Mad Max, Vernon Maxwell. Because, and the great thing about Max was like, I was his new surrogate brother. So anytime that anybody did anything to me, he would
take up for you. Oh, so this is about my buddy. My buddy.
Hey, but like,
wherever I go, he goes.
And so I would be behind him. Yeah, Max, that's what we're talking about.
Wow.
So I would stand behind him.
Glad you admit it.
But he's the craziest guy in terms of, like, his personality was so different off the court sometime than it was on the court. And he was the only guy when we played Chicago. We had success actually against the Bulls in the regular season. We only played in regular season, but we had some success because he tried to fight Michael Jordan every time. And every game, he tried to fight Michael. And Michael, you know, as tough mind that he is, it really didn't get under him until one day, after every fight, he would bring his son in afterwards to get his autograph. So Michael says, something's wrong with this guy, Kenny. Right? Like, he fights me every day, and then right after, he brings his son in wearing Air Jordan apparel. And he's bringing him in an autograph. Like, he's not right. So I was like, that's right. Like, yeah, we got him, Vernon. We got him.
Kenny, you played with Dream, Thorpe. Vernon Maxwell was your bodyguard? Another guard? Another guard, though. But you didn't have a big guy.
They didn't mess with Vernon. Like, in practice, no, they didn't mess with Vernon. They would attempt to mess with Vernon. However, Vernon would follow through on the act. So if Vernon said, I'm going to hit you, he would hit you the next play. Vernon says, I'm going to trip you in the air, he would trip you in the air the next. He delivered on his messages. That's why he was the most feared guy.
I will say this one thing.
Yeah.
You talk about teams, we got to talk about the bad boy Pistons. Now, let me tell you something. They had a reign of terror there for a few years.
Yeah.
When you went to the basket, you were going to get hit like 3 times. I played with guys who were terrified to go near the basket. But you knew anytime you went against Lambert, Mahorn, Dennis Rodman, John Sally, James Edwards, you were going to get hit and you were going to get hit hard.
And they had that rule, too, that if someone get fouled, then the second foul is
Doesn't
not a
count.
foul.
You wasn't going to get no 3-point plays.
Right, so they hit you, and then the second guy, everybody would just gang up on you.
And the good guy on that team,
Joe Dumars.
And Joe, when I'm trying to take him, he's like, Reg, don't go by me now. Come on now, just settle out here and take jump shots. I'm like, why? You like look behind you. Don't go in there. All right.
Steve, what's the toughest thing about being an NBA enforcer?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ernie. You know what I remember? I mean, we saw a lot of those highlights where all these fights happen, and Reggie, you mentioned it. If you're on the bench when all this stuff happens, okay, now you get suspended if you leave the bench. But back then, it was understood as a teammate you had to go out there. And it was also an automatic $5,000 fine. And I think it was $2,500 for a while, then they upped it to $5 grand. But here's what would happen with guys like me. You're sitting there, you're making minimum salary, okay? Fight starts. You look around, you're like, I gotta go out there. Otherwise, I'm not backing my guy up. Then you're like, and nothing happens when you go out there. Everybody holds each other. But if you don't go out there, you're not backing up your guy. So you're kind of like, there goes $5 grand. and nothing happens. You're like, well, I have no
Is he
choice
worth
here.
$5 grand? Because you know the next day, everybody.
We watch
we watching film. And we picking out.
It's a fine for you if you don't get off
That's
the
right.
bench.
I got to tell you this, I got in one of those. I didn't get in the fight, so I was talking about a little bit earlier about Dr. J and Larry Bird got to fight. And what happens is you always just grab the guy closest to you. So I happen to be standing behind Larry Bird, so I grabbed Larry Bird, and Dr. J just laying him out.
Doc was smooth.
Can you give me the sound effect one more time?
Hey, Doc is doing rock and sock and roll. I get fined and suspended. I'm like, why? They're like, I said, I tried to break up the fight. They said that I was holding Larry Bird. I taught me a lesson. Just stand there. Don't do anything.
How much of this sometimes, I guess, is heat of the moment, and sometimes would you really like to continue this outside of the parameters of a basketball court, Shaq?
Not really. You know, it's all about respect. I used to hate playing against the Knicks when Pat Riley was coaching. He was gonna have problems in there. He was gonna have problems. And see, those guys, they hit you, you hit them back. But they keep coming back. Like, usually when a guy hits you, you hit him back. He knows you ain't soft, so he'll leave you alone. They just keep coming for 48 minutes.
We had a melee with Miami Heat and the Hawks. And like you talked about, Chuck, grabbing somebody wrong. Grant Long and Dwayne Farrell. Grant choked Dwayne Farrell.
And the gum came out of his mouth. You know that?
Alvin Gentry was our coach. He was coaching the Heat. Grabbed Grant Long, which you shouldn't do. So Grant thought he was somebody else. He took Alvin
And body slam.
and body slam.
Broke his arm.
Broke his arm.
Right.
And you heard Alvin screaming. Oh! But you know, that's just a lesson. You can't go grab nobody.
I'll give
no
you the
matter
last
what, from behind.
I'll give you the last word, see what.
Man, I don't know about, I just know one time in Sacramento, when we first got there, we're playing against Utah. And Sacramento, we're scared of everybody else. We've never been good, so we're trying to say it's our first playoff series. Let's go. So I tell Coach before the game, I'm going to lay out John Stockton first play of the game. He's like, no, don't do it. I'm like, Coach, everybody, you know, everybody's scared, man. I'm going to lay him out. I lay him out. First play of the game, get a technical.
How'd you lay him out?
It was coming off a pick. He came off a pick, a flex, and I waited for him, and I mean, it felt so good. I came down, I laid him out, and in my head, I was like, oh, man, I hope I didn't hit him too hard. That's how good it felt. He got up, Stockton got up, he didn't
Where'd
care.
you get him? Did you get him in the chest? Or you get him
I
up
mean,
here?
I got him like, I mean, like, you know,
That wasn't
right
that-
here.
that wasn't that bad.
That wasn't that bad. No, but I got him. And after the game, you know, Stockton, he came over and he was like, yeah, good job. He knew what I was doing. But after the game, all I kept thinking of was, you know, we won and this is good for our team. But Stockton, he's as tough as he says he is. He's
And you
not
won the
crying.
game?
He's not. Yeah, but he's not crying. He's
Still
not
had
running around.
20-20.
Yeah, you know, but I'm just saying, Stockton, the tough guy it is, it wasn't about fighting anything, but for his team, they were tough because he didn't get up, cry, and flop and all that. But for our team, you know, it was a pretty good session.